All right. Hall of Fame, Mr. 2023, Tim Matero. I told you were a first ballot Hall of Famer, and here you are.
Here I am. Thank you.
How many bowls have 800s, 500s, and all that good stuff?
We were figuring out, we counted maybe 8 to 10 that had at least a 200 string, a 500 series, an 800 series, and a 1400 series. So to be part of that is pretty cool.
Has it sunk in yet?
No, honestly, no. A little bit on the ride down, but it'll sink in when I'm standing up there trying to give a speech. So.
And you're going to highlight this in Ripping the Rack podcast this week?
Oh yeah. No, we'll speak about this. We'll talk about it. I'll probably give a real speech on there because you only got about 5 minutes to speak here, and I think we all know that I can talk. So.
No, me either. Any disclaimer tonight?
No disclaimer. No. I'm keeping this PG-13. This will be family oriented.
The views expressed by Tim Matero, not those of Candlepin Bowling Network. So, Ripping the Rack podcast.
Yep.
Subscribe free.
Subscribe free on all your podcast mediums: YouTube, Anchor Breaker, iHeartRadio, iTunes. We're on all of them. Spotify. Yeah.
And hopefully you have Karen Matero next time around.
Hopefully. It'd be pretty cool if she was going to be in tonight, but I'm thinking the next one she'll get in.
Right. Congratulations, Tim Matero.
Appreciate it.
All right, next on the agenda, Tim Matero, nominated by Craig Helbrook and Deb DeRochers. Would they please come forward? Tim's accomplishments in the game of Candlepin show that you don't have to be the biggest, fastest, or strongest person on the lanes. You're my height, You have to just to possess the talent of an artist and the heart of a lion to be successful, says this Hall of Famer nominator, Brian and Hearn. Perhaps the most clutch moment in Tim's bowling career took place in Halifax in 2001 in the Men's World Championship Finals. With a small lead in the last 2 boxes of the final match, having led his team to overcome a 100-pin-plus deficit in that match, Tim proceeded to roll a strike and seal the World Championship for his team. More importantly, he was able to help 2 mentors of his to gain a World Team title, Hall of Famers Russ Neely and Charlie Milan. That was the biggest clutch moment for Tim's great career, but is certainly just one of many he has amassed. His numbers on the lanes are legendary. They included 5 200-plus games, a pair of 500 triples, 800 and 800 5-string series, 7 1400 10-string totals. Tim has 3 state of Maine records, 3-string series, doubles, and mixed team events. He can also add 5 different lane scoring records to Maine, which includes 3-time Maine State Candlepin Bowler of the Year. His 9 Maine Pro Tour wins are only behind numbers posted by Russ Neely and Al Joy for the most all-time. Records aside, then there are many others. Tim has been a mentor to many in this game over the years, and he continues to offer advice and guidance and off the lanes to young talent today as well. This includes non-bowling sports where he has served as an AAU basketball coach and assistant varsity high school coach. On and off the lanes, Tim exemplifies the quality you want to have a Hall of Fame inductee in any sport you have. Welcome, Tim, to the Candlepin Bowling Hall of Fame.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. I'll keep this short, as most of you get to hear me talk every other week for an hour. We're all sick of it. I was really happy to be able to nominate Tim. I want to thank the Academy for looking at my application for him and taking it seriously, because we all know Tim. And as much as he puts on a face, he's a very humble guy. And I'm just so glad that not only do I get to induct a mentor and a teammate, but my best friend as well. So thanks to everyone at Matero.
No, I don't need a stool. I'm good. I just got to put my own reading glasses on here so I can actually read. Oh, short jokes. Whoa. I haven't heard those before. Oh, yeah. So, you all have heard of filibuster. We're going to go there. I'm just kidding, guys. We're going to keep this as short as possible. I wrote this speech, I don't know, 5 or 6 times, and every time it would get longer and longer, and I'd sit there and figure out, well, I really got to shorten this, and I'd take out a paragraph, and then I realized that I just got to be me, and that's all I can be. So I do want to thank the ICBA Hall of Fame Committee. I understand this process is not easy. The application itself is not easy. The decision on whom to induct is even more difficult. I am truly honored and appreciative of your decision to include me in the Hall of Fame class of 2023. To my fellow inductees, I really can't think of more deserving men and women to be standing here today. Proud to call many of you friends. I've bowled with a lot of them. I've bowled against a lot of them, and beat by a lot of them. I will say a quick funny story though. My first time meeting Steve Renaud, he doesn't remember it, but I do. So it was, I don't know, late 80s, and it was the Pepsi Doubles at Colonial in Westport, Maine. And I was, I don't know, 17 years old, and I was going down to watch Al Joy and Russ Neely. And they had to bowl this young kid, Steve Renaud, and I don't know who the hell he is, and some guy by the name of Tommy Olston. I'm like, never really heard of him. I'm just kidding, I've heard of him. But I go there, and I think, Steve, if I'm not mistaken, 470? 468. 468. And I sat back and went, oh my God, I'm going to be bowling against guys like that? It's like, holy crap. Anyway, congratulations to all the 2023 nominees. Couple of people to thank. Obviously, I gotta thank my mom. I mean, let's face it, without her, I'm not bowling, because I grew up in a bowling alley. She was, I think I was like 1 or 2 months old, and she brought me into a bowling alley. And I gotta ask, most of the people here are old enough to remember bowling alleys in the early 70s, right? Most people here, you got the cigarettes on the side. You're looking down the smoke. About half the thing is smoke filled. And I heard smoking stunts your growth. So I just want to thank my mom for. Where? Oh, she's talking. Pay attention, Mom. That was about you. Okay, Paul, leave her alone. No, seriously though, Mom. Thank you for bringing me to the alleys. Thank you for teaching me how to bowl, for encouraging me, for, I will admit, yelling at me about my attitude. May come as a surprise, I might have had an attitude bowling. Small one. Thank you, so, love you. To my dad and stepmother Vicky, they couldn't be here tonight. They took me to a lot of leagues, not leagues, but a lot of tournaments, kid tournaments. So thank them for that. To my brother David and my sister Karen. Karen, I will say you will be here. You will get to stand up here and give your own speech at some point. Arguably one of the top 3 women bowlers come out of Maine, so you will be here. David, you're the worst Matero bowler ever. Just so you know, you are terrible. Did I do that right? Okay. Actually, my brother is, I gotta say this. He is the best director, producer, editor of any mockumentary out there. For those of you who don't know, one of the best Christmas gifts I ever got was a DVD that my brother produced and directed, and it was a mockumentary of The Legend of Timmy, the life and times of a Pro Tour bowler. And it was about 40+ minutes without takes, but he interviewed friends across the country. Clips of me bowling and stuff like that. It's on sale for $29.99 for those that want it, or the highest offer. David, thank you. It's still a pretty cool gift. Let's see, I'm missing Brian. I gotta thank you for nominating me. Appreciate it. We've had a lot of fun. My apologies about your truck. For those of you who don't know, Brian doesn't like to drive in Canada, so I tend to drive when we go places. And he drives a large truck, and I'm a small guy. And I might have almost flipped his truck one day, driving from the hotel to out to eat to Montana's. And it went sideways. Brian came up almost up over me, and a couple of guys in the back seat, and I'm pretty sure Evan and Penny in the car behind us almost went off the road from laughing. Good times. We did fix your truck though, so there is that. To Tom and Brian Ketchum, friends of mine for a long time, they've been supporting me a long time. Bought a lot of World's tickets over the last 30 years. Just so you know, I have some more here. If you want to buy some, just see me afterwards. I'm more than willing to sell them to you. Thank you, guys. Two guys that really played a really important part of my bowling, and that's Russ Neely and Charlie Mott. Neither one could be here today. Charlie obviously passed away last year. I wouldn't be up here without Charlie and Russ. And I'll tell you this, you didn't say no to Charlie. And those of you that knew Charlie knew you didn't say no to Charlie. 1992, 2 weeks before the Worlds, he calls me up. I'm 21 years old. I'm at a friend's house, we're playing cards. Phone rings. And it's Charlie Marlin from Bangor Brewer. And he's like, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm at a friend's house playing cards. How'd you get this number? And he goes, doesn't matter. You're bowling in 2 weeks. I said, what do you mean I'm bowling in 2 weeks? I need to put a team together. You're bowling in 2 weeks. Charlie, I gotta work. You didn't hear me, Tim. You're bowling in 2 weeks. Take the week off and bowl. Okay, I was, I don't know, 115 average at the time, 118 average. I had no business being up there. I went up Monday morning, paid my $100 to bowl in singles, threw a first string 90 something, looked at Charlie and said, really? And he goes, you'll be okay. I ended up bowling 668, qualified 31st with a 668, went, what the hell? And then I kept winning. And got to the semifinals and had to bowl some guy named Jeff Atkins. I'm like, who the hell is Jeff Atkins? I didn't know this guy. And then I saw the world record board and saw his name on there and went, oh shit. Sorry for the language. But I learned a lesson that day and ended up bowling all 32 strings of the Worlds, averaged 133. Some 33, whatever it was. Bowled every string, averaged 132 for the week, was top 10 in average. And Charlie and Russ both said, you belong here. And I did. I won a lot. But I will admit, I was an ass. Alfie mentioned it. I was angry. Kicked the ball return, did all sorts of stupid things. Took a long time to learn. Don't do that. For any of the younger kids that are here, how you represent yourself on the lanes and off the lanes is highly important. It took me a long time to learn that lesson. I urge you guys, it's not about bowling. It is about friendship. It is about sportsmanship. And it's about having fun. Had a lot of fun. I am going to, there's a couple of things here. Two things before I end this speech. The first, I promised, my wife made me promise that I wouldn't talk about her. Now, I'm going to break the promise, but I'm not going to look over there because I will start to cry because that's what I do. I am a crier. So, there is only one person who truly knows the battle that I go through and have for the last 27 years. And here it comes. It's my wife's fault. It's always my wife's fault. She has, she's put up with a lot from me. More than most people should. But she stuck by for some odd reason. I think it was my legendary cooking skills or something, I don't know. It was definitely my good looks. Absolutely. Stunning height, good looks. It's there. I've not been the easiest person to live with, but yet, 27 years later, she's still there. Stands by me, through the ups, through the downs. I would not be in this Hall of Fame without her. I love you. Thank you. There wasn't more there, but I can't read what I wrote because I had to take my glasses off because of the tears. The last thing I'm going to say is this, and I do need to thank, obviously, I got to thank my kids. I would be remiss if I didn't thank them. I tried to entice one of them here. Two of them stayed at home. One of them I tried to entice with the fact that there's legalized sports gambling here in New Hampshire, and he ends up, he's got something going on. The other one doesn't like to leave his house. And Jordan's here, my youngest, he's here because we promised him a trip to the Merrimack Outlets. So we'll go in the morning in the rain. But no, they sacrificed a lot for me to do what I do. And I recognize that. And I am proud of you guys. So thank you. The last thing that I'm going to say, if I can find it and read it, is something in here somewhere. Here it is. So there's only one other person in here that knows this person I'm going to talk about. That's my friend Brian. So we had an old golf coach by the name of Brian Morgan. Guy couldn't golf to save his life, but he was our golf coach. He tried to teach me two things. The first was, you cannot be afraid to fail. And it took me a minute to think about what he was saying. I had a hell of a career as a golfer in high school. I only lost twice in 4 years in match play. Don't ask me about stroke play, because that was bad. Match play, I was good. But he said, you can't be afraid to fail. And I took that to bowling. And I was never afraid standing up on the lanes, holding the ball, with the pressure. I wanted it. I wanted to be that guy. I failed a lot, because you're going to fail a lot in the game of bowling. But I was never afraid of it. And I'll tell you, if you have that mindset, you're going to do a lot of things in life. Not just bowling, but a lot of things. The second thing is, and I had to read this in my yearbook, because it was actually a quote that he put. He goes, you cannot be afraid to fail, but after that he put, after all the wins and losses are forgotten, all the poor shots are a distant memory, and all the terrible rounds are just history, that you will remember the truly important things, and that is friendship, sportsmanship, and fun are what really counted. And I have to say this. My bowling may be just about done. I've got some injuries and really not bowling much anymore. But I gotta say, the amount of fun that I've had with this game, and the people in this room, and everyone that I've bowled with, is absolutely amazing. I've been blessed to bowl with some great people. And I'm not talking about just my mom and my sister, and you know, Russ and Charlie and James Mylan and Sean Morrison sitting over there, you know, Amanda, Evan and Maddie. You know, I am absolutely a lucky guy to have bowled with a lot of great people. And I only hope you guys can experience that as well. Thank you. One quick thing. No. I need to recognize that 100-pin lead in the that we overcame in the Worlds in 2001. That wasn't just me. That was a full team effort. But Sean Morrison over there threw a massive double strike in the 8th and 9th box that gave me the lead coming up. We don't win without that. The strike I threw is the most beautiful backdoor strike anyone has ever seen.
I just want to say something. He made a comment that I think is very, very important. It's getting harder and harder to find bowlers to bring into the Hall of Fame. Attitude, respect. If you're going to be up there kicking a ball return, chances are you'll never make it to the Hall of Fame. Alfie has mentioned it. You have mentioned it. I thank you for doing it. One other question I have. We've had a number of people from Maine. What happened to the Maine accent? You can't get there from here. I was going through Brewer one day, stopped at the golf station, asked, where's Charlie Mylan's bowling center? He says, just up the street. Mind telling me where? Well, you never asked. Anyway, there you go. Where's the main bowling center? Okay, good luck. You got this. All right. Continuing on. Next up.